Coming up this week on Success Won't Come Calling.
Ninja Warrior is an obstacle course. For me, it's like very serious. You know what I mean? Some people is going there, like just to have a laugh. But for me, like my mindset is like to win the show. You know, so I wasn't like messing around or do the show business side of it, you know, or showing off. I just went to just do it.
Hello, friends. Simon Gibson here. Welcome to SWCC. If you like the podcast, please click subscribe and you'll know the moment every one of our new episodes lands. Today, I'm really excited about seeing my guest, who is Jonny Urszuly. Jonny is a gymnast. He's been a stuntman. He's been a personal trainer. He's been a Ninja Warrior and he's been Spiderman. More of that later. Jonny, how are you, brother?
Hi, mate. I'm good, thank you. How are you doing?
I'm really good. Thanks for doing this.
Oh, listen, it's a pleasure. Thank you so much for inviting me.
It's our pleasure. Now, the first thing is, you're the first man I've ever met who was born in Transylvania. I think, is it just you and Dracula who were born there?
No, you see, Dracula is my father. He's my father, so be careful.
But you were only actually in Transylvania till you were, was it 5?
Yeah, I born in Transylvania, and I started all my career, basically all my life. It started in Transylvania, and all it started with gymnastics. So I was 5 years old when I went to the gymnastic club.
Because you've spent a large part of your career and your life, haven't you, really committed to the sport of gymnastics?
Yeah, that's right.
What's your earliest recollection of when you first encountered?
Well, how it works, you know, like when I was like very little, 3-4 years old, I was started to walking on my hand on my own and doing some flips at home. So it's like nobody's teaching me, you know, like till that point. And my dad, he's decided to give a chance and try to be a gymnast. And this is how it started. Back in the days, like when I started, obviously it was completely different than these days. So we have like every year a week, opening week for new people. And basically like they have, you know, like a list what they're looking for, or the trainers, you see. And if you are good enough for that, you know, you can stay. And obviously, like if you're not good enough, then you can go home.
So do you mean if you've got the right quality, that you can then sort of join a school which,
yeah, that's right,
which focuses not just on gymnastics but focuses on allowing you to develop your skills in that sport?
Yeah, because like obviously like, they're not going to put like any effort, you know, like for people who's like not like naturally talented, if that makes sense. It does. So if you have like the strength already in that young age, and obviously like you can do tricks and, you know, like some stuff, then they can build on that, you know. And obviously like back in the days, and like I was like did all the stuff what they're asking for, so I was like, okay, I'm gonna stay.
Now we're going to come on to later the fact that you now focus a large part of your career on helping kids in schools develop their fitness and their skills in the field of exercise. Was that something you became quite interested in early in your life? Because obviously you benefited from that sort of help at school age as well. Did you develop that passion at that stage?
Yes, I mean like everything, you know, like what I'm doing is happened as a young age. You see, so I had to work for it, you know, like all my life to get, you know, like where I am now. And obviously, like I can feel that, you know, like I make a big difference for the young generation these days. And I would love to help them and push them, you know, like for achieving their goals.
Well, let's talk a bit about this, because I mean, it's so interesting the fact that you've blended so much of your own personal experience into not just a career, but also in helping the younger generation in this important area. How important is it, in your view, for kids to commit and to enjoy physical exercise and gymnastics and working out?
Well, the thing is that these days, it's completely different when I was a kid, because when I was a gymnast, obviously like my dad wanted to be me to be a gymnast, you see. So when I was like a teenager, there was a point when I wanted to change, to be an ice hockey player, you see. So that was like the cool thing to do back in the days. And then obviously like I spent so many years till that time, to do gymnastics. And then obviously like, my coach and my daddy said to me like, listen, like it's no chance you're going to swap now. And I think it's very important, from the parents' view as well, to push their own kids, like what my dad did. That he didn't let me to swap, even like if I wanted to. He's like, no, son, this is gonna be your route to go through, and I just stayed. So I think like you sometimes need to be strong as a parent, to actually like don't give in that easily.
Well, we first met because you train my daughter Darcy in gymnastics.
That's
and
right.
we got chatting about your story, and I managed to persuade you to come on. The thing I would say about the way you train, not just because obviously you've done some training with me as well since then.
Yeah.
Not in gymnastics, I hasten to add. Just can't.
Imagine like if I'm going to try to teach you like some cartwheel and flips and all that.
It's not going to happen, man.
You never say never.
I know. I think I can probably say never to the flips, but but the thing I really enjoy about training with you is you do push people hard. You do push them to their full extent, but you do it in a way that's very supportive.
Yeah.
And you do it in such a way that it's, you're not military in your approach. You're kind of an arm around the shoulder. You're supportive. You help. You encourage.
Yeah.
But it's tough, man.
Obviously, it's coming like from my background, you see, like how I train. So I do believe like if you are focusing in one thing, like example, like if you want to be fit, you have to be like in that mindset. Like, okay, I'm not going to do that just for a week or 2 weeks, like you're going to do that till you're going to achieve the goal, what you are actually planned for yourself. But obviously, like, it's not everybody can stuck to the routine, you see. So I had like clients, like they had like, oh, Jonny, like, can you train me, please? Like, I would love to lose like, like that much weight, blah, blah, blah. So I was like, yeah, okay. We did the first session. I never see them again. So I was like, what's going on here? Just because like it's hard, but nothing comes easy, Like, well, there you go. This is the logo over here,
Yeah, well,
so,
exactly. And I mean, achieving goals isn't meant to be easy, is it? But I mean, I'm interested you use the word mindset there, because to me, as someone who, because I really enjoy exercise, I really enjoy working out. I'm not a super fit dude, but I'm okay. I guess you'd probably say I'm average in terms of what I can do. But I don't know if I've ever told you this. I had a lung issue about 10 years ago. I had a clot on my lung.
Okay.
Now it's fine now. I'm symptom free. Apart from the fact my lung function is a little bit worse than it was before. At the time, the doctors were initially saying to me, look, you're going to be fine, but forget exercise. You're not going to be able to do it. So I pushed myself to a certain point, and I was pleased with where I got to. But in terms of my mindset, I have a bit of a problem in sort of persuading myself that I can push myself to the greatest extent. So for example, with the two areas for me are running and burpees. My mind just says to me, you can't do that, which is why the first training
it's not
session,
just you. It's like no one likes the burpee. But know what? I don't know why. It's like, it's not hard.
The first training session I ever did with you, I walked into the gym.
You nearly died.
No, you said, right, first of all, it's running. Then it's running with burpees at the end. So I was just thinking, bloody hell, this could be hard. But no, do you know what I've found? Is when your mindset is, I can't do burpees. When I thought about it, it's like, well, I could do one burpee. I can probably do two. So once you've done that, it's just a case of building up, isn't it? And continually pushing yourself.
Yeah. I don't know, because like my mindset, when I set a goal for myself, I can't see anything between. I really like, sometimes, like it depends like how big is the goal. It's not always happening, but I give like a really good shot. I mean, I'm not like one of them like, it's maybe not going to happen or whatever. I try my best, and then if it's going to happen, happen. If not.
And occasionally enjoy it where you can as well, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. That's the thing with my job. Like, I just love it.
Yeah. Well, let's talk more about your journey up to your current position. Yeah. So, Transylvania, you decided to commit to being a gymnast at a very young age. And you went for your assessment. You did come up to the standards. What happened then?
So basically, when I started, I was 5 years old, and then obviously, straight away as a young age, I started living in the college, in the boarding school, with my brother. He's like obviously like 4 years older than me, and because I was too young to stay on my own, obviously like the family house, it was like 30 kilometers away from the
school.
from the city, you know. So back in the days, like we didn't have car to travel like every day. So this is why like we have to stay there from Monday till Friday. And then my brothers came with me, and then his job was like to take me to the school, from the school to the gymnastic club, and then from the club to the boarding school where we stayed and slept and all that, you see. So that was my routine for 4 years. And then obviously like I was like getting better and better every year. And my coaches said to my dad, and like I have to move like in a bigger and better school.
So where was it? The first school was that? Did you say that was in Romania?
Yeah, that was in Romania. Yeah, Transylvania.
Right.
Yeah, the thing is like you have to know the background about Transylvania as well, because a bit of history. Because when people are saying like Romania and Transylvania, they don't know. You know what I mean? So if I'm gonna say like Transylvania back in the days before the Second World War happened, that Transylvania, it was part of Hungary. So even when I was like after the Second War, they take Transylvania and then put them to Romania. You see, so now it's like it's one country, but everybody's like the language and mother's language, and even like when I was a kid, like my school was like Hungarian, so we speak Hungarian all the time. Obviously, like we had to learn the language, the Romanian language. Like we had like 2 lessons a week, but I can't speak it at all, at all. I was always struggled with it.
But I mean, that must have been challenging when you were that young. Not because obviously we all do language classes in school when we're young, but you were having to actually, use the language in everyday life, or try to use it in everyday life.
No, because everything else, and like everywhere where you went, like it's Hungarian.
Oh, I'm with you.
You know what I mean? It's everything Hungarian. It's the same as like you're going to Wales.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Or I don't know which part of the country in here, like they're speaking different. You know what I mean? So it's like kind of the same over there. So everything was Hungarian, but obviously like we had to learn like twice a week, like in the school, Romanian. Obviously like I never learned it. So so that was like 4 years, and then I had to move because I was getting better with gymnastics. And then we had 2 options. The one option is like I'm going to the Romanian side of like that part, or I'm going even further from my family house, which is like 400 kilometers away. And at that time, my brother was like too old to be in the school, you see, so I had to go on my own. And, I was like, 9 years old, you know what I mean? So, because I was struggled with the language, the Romanian language, my daddy said like, if I'm going to go to that part, to Romania, like I'm going to stay back in the school, because over there is like completely different than over here. I'm going to explain that as well. And every year, end of the year, you have a big exam. If you're not passing the exam in the school, then you are not going, to the next year. So you are staying behind, you know what I mean? So my dad is like, no chance, because like I'm going to stay behind like 4 years, you know what I mean? So that was like only one option we
was
have
that
left.
An exam in gymnastics, or was it just an exam in just your general education?
No, just because of gymnastics. I only traveled just because of gymnastics.
I'm with you.
And we decided to go up to even further, 400 kilometers away. And obviously, like when we went there, we went, like with the bag, with all my clothes on in the bag. And I had a test on that day, because obviously like they're just not going to take me straight away. Like they had to see like I'm good enough in that club, So they put me through again, like what they wanted to see about me. And then straight away, like, Johnny, you can stay. You can start the school on Monday.
And that was when you were 9, was it?
Yeah, that's right.
So what was your training regime at that sort of age in terms of your gymnastics? Do you train for gymnastics just by doing gymnastics? Or at that age, is there like fitness work? Is there core
No,
work?
it's like, gymnastics is like, it's back in the days, I don't know about now over here, but over there is like, this is why they are selecting people, because they want to be like, like Olympic gymnast, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
They want like the best of the best. Obviously, like some people like through the years like have injuries or they give up or whatever, you know what I mean? But the strongest can make it, you know?
Yeah.
And so this is why I trained for gymnastics.
And what was the training just doing gymnastics, was it? Or was it
just gymnastics. It was like you had to train like strength and core, and the training was like unreal.
Because
like, unreal.
One thing I've got to say from seeing you work out is your core strength is quite incredible. Can you get Johnny's Instagram up, Jacob? Because core strength is so fundamental to everything you do strength-wise, isn't it? And anything you do, the stronger your core. Go down to the one, mate, where
there is a handstand one.
Yeah, look, let's do
the second one.
Like everyone, you got it up on the screen having Johnny's TikTok. Just check this out. Anyone who goes to the gym, just imagine doing this. Or frankly, if you don't go to the gym, oh my God, good Lord. Yeah, anyone who's just listening at the moment, it's hard to describe. Johnny's doing a handstand on some kettlebells.
Crossing over, like
crossing over. Yeah.
This is my fun time in the gym. When I'm not working, I was like, I have to do something, so I'm not going to be bored in the gym.
Oh, that's awesome, fella. And just a word about the gym as well. I really should mention it because I'm a member of NXG.
Yeah, that's right.
I know you do some training with the kids and what in there.
It's a great gym, isn't it? And the people is so nice in there.
Do you know what I love about NXG? I've been a member of different gyms over the years, but this is the first time I felt kind of like part of a community.
Yeah, that's right.
All the staff there, all the team, all the trainers. First of all, they seem to like each other, which is nice.
Yeah, listen.
Secondly,
that's the main thing, isn't it? That's
it is, and they all seem happy as well. Yeah. And because of that, that rubs off on the people who come to attend.
Yeah.
And I find that even though there's such a wide range of fitness and of age groups and everything in there, everyone gets supported, everyone gets pushed, and everyone seems to enjoy it. So, I know we got lots of folks who watch and listen from Liverpool and Lancashire, and check out NXG, and definitely.
And obviously, I'm working in there like I'm the devil, isn't it? I'm the devil.
9 years old, you've reached this point.
So I reached that point, and obviously, like they say straight away, like I can start on Monday, next Monday. And then I was too young to be in the college on my own. I had to wait for 1 year to be on my own, you see. So the college, they didn't take me on, to sleep in there on my own, you see. So it's like an age, you have to be like in a certain age.
Got you.
To be on your own. So, everything else and like happy chappy and all that, but it's like I had to wait 1 year. And obviously like my coach said to my dad, like, if Johnny gonna miss 1 year, and if he goes now, if he's going home now, he's not training at all, no chance, he's not coming back. So it's like, my dad is like, listen, son, I think this is over. So we walked back to the train station. This is going to be a funny one. And then we stopped in the bar, and my dad is like, he was like a chatty man, like me. And he's told everyone like, why are we there and all that, and somebody said to him, well, actually, like, there is a lady in the city who renting a room out, for people like me, and let's just try. So I had like a big bag of clothes, like with us, all my stuff. And then, so we went there, we knocked on the door, on the lady's door, she's opened it, and then my daddy's explained the situation, and then she said, well, one girl, she's living in the bedroom at the moment, but about like 2 months time, she's moving out, so I can take over. But in the meantime, I can sleep in the same room as her. She said like 2 bed, okay? So one body's gonna be mine, and I was like, the other one is her. And then she was like, that's the only thing like she can do. And then my dad is like, turned around and said, son, you stay. You know what I mean? And I was like, you're messing on my own in the big city. I don't know anyone, I didn't even know the lady. And like it was really tough. So what happened?
And how old were you then?
9.
So you moved out of your parents' house when you were 5, and you were living with a woman by the time you were 9. That's seriously impressive, mate.
Listen, I went through a lot. Yeah. And basically, like, my dad is like, we went out for a meal on that night. He said like a train ticket, like in the nighttime. So he's taking me out like for a meal, and then he's explained like how everything is works, the traffic lights and all that. So I had to take in everything like fast. I mean like in hours. And we went back after a meal to the lady's house, and then he's like, well, listen, son, like I need to go now, So he's explained like your job is from in the morning, like you're gonna wake up, and then you go for breakfast. I was like, my dad is paid on like the breakfast, lunch, and dinner in the school. and I just had to sleep like in the lady's house.
Yeah.
And he said like, you wake up in the morning, get dressed, and then dude, that's your job. So from breakfast, going to school, learn all the, like maths, everything else. And then from there, go to the gym and then back to the lady's house. So that was my routine. So I was like, oh my God, this is actually real, And I started crying. I just didn't want to stay. And then my dad is like, he's get like emotional as well. And he said like, listen, I'm going to stay for one night and that's it. So basically like we went to bed, me and him. It was like, he's like, lie down with me in the bed. And then I went for a sleep. And in the morning when I wake up, he wasn't there. So yeah, it's like, still like give me a goosebump, And yeah, from that moment, I just know like, that's my life, So
that must have required an incredible degree of discipline at such a young age. I mean, you mentioned routine.
Yeah.
But I mean, that for someone to be confronted at such a young age with that situation is something that's difficult to conceive of. Looking back, do you view it as an important part of your learning in terms of your journey to where you've got today?
It is because like I feel like at the moment like anything comes in my way, nothing can step me back or stop me because like the experience I lived till this day, it's like unbelievable, as a young age. So
I mean, you must have really learned life skills during that period.
Yeah, in that young age, 100%.
And how long did that go on then in terms of?
So that is went for a year. And then when I was like old enough to go to the college, I went to the boarding school.
Yes.
Boarding school. And I left the old lady. And then I'm in the boarding school. And then I was like, it was my age, my age of people group. It was always together in the college. We slept together like in the bunk beds. Like we had like 14 people.
Right.
So we had fun.
Were they all committed to gymnastics as well?
Yes, they are.
It was like a gymnastics school.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it was always like related to gymnastics school. You see, so I was, I was happy because I had someone to play with, and like messing about,
Company,
and all that companies, and but the weekend was so hard because I was like back in the days, like we didn't have bank cards or any cards, like to my dad to spend money or send money. So I never had money. So what happened? Like on the weekend, we can stay, like in the place, in the boarding school, all year round. But we only got, like food, breakfast, lunch, and dinner from Monday to Friday. On the weekend, it's like we had to like look after ourselves. So some people like they went home, like people like who's like lived close enough to the place, but because like I was lived like far away, and I was like so young, and then I had to go to train and all that, I had to sort myself out. So, I actually don't know how I did it, but basically the story behind this is like, I become with a lot of like friends, school friends, and gymnastics friends. So I always ask my mates, like every weekend was like a different people. Every weekend, like I said, like, Tom, can you ask your parents, like, can I go and stay with you on the weekend? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then he's went home and he's asking, and and then the parents, like, they kind of like know, like, they knew my story, And so yeah, every weekend it was like different people. I went to different people's houses, I was like, I helped them like much as I can, like to the parents, like.
Because how long did you see? It was 400 kilometers to you, to your own home.
Yeah.
That's a hell of a long way,
I
isn't
know,
it?
but like I didn't have money. What I mean? And then even like if my dad is send some money through the post, that was like they take the money out from the post and all that, So I never received any money, So I was like, my dad is like came to visit me like twice, like every half a year, you know what I mean? And so yeah, I had to do it on my own.
That's a mind blowing experience. So what age were you when you left that school?
So it's what happens. Like this is when it's coming in my life. My in my life, my stepmom and my step parents actually. I was like, I lived this life, like this moving life, for a few years, and then I had a girl. She came to my school, and I was in my classroom as well. And then like the kids, they're like, if somebody new, they just want to push them out. They don't want to be friends with them or whatever. So because like I kind of like felt, like how she feels, I said to her, listen, come and sit with me, and then we can be friends and all that. So she sat like with me and all that. And then her mom, she was a school teacher in the village, in a different place. So she came up to that place where I was learning in the school. And then she's brought her daughter as well with her. And then her daughter, she was in my classroom. And then me and her become like, best friends, started playing all together. And then I was like...
How old are you now when this was happening?
That was like 12.
Okay.
12. And then obviously her mom and like my stepmom, she's seen like what's happening, like, like in the playgrounds and stuff like that. And then she's asked my teacher about me, like, who's this little boy? He's like completely different than everybody else, in the school. And then I was like, all my teachers, they told the story, like why I'm there and what's happening and stuff like that. And she came to me one day and she said to me, Jonny, would you like to come to mine on the weekend? So I was like, wow, okay. I would love to. So I went to stay with her and obviously with my stepsister the first time.
And when you talk about your stepsister, you're talking about the girl who you got to be best friends with?
Yeah.
Right, okay, and that's how you viewed it, was it? Like a stepsister?
Yeah, exactly. So this is how we started. And so she's invited me, to her house, and then I went on the first weekend and I was like, wow. I felt, like in that point, it's like, I ate some stuff, like some bananas and all that, like what I'd never seen before back in that years, you know what I mean? And then she said all that.
And was that just because you didn't have loads of money to spend on food?
No, but back in the days, like you couldn't buy that kind of stuff in Transylvania, no. But because my stepdad, he's working like in different countries, you see. So when he came back, he's always bought some stuff, like what we couldn't get at home. So I was like, wow, man, So, but I felt that weekend, I felt like something special. She was like helping, like with my homeworks and all that stuff. You know what I mean? Before that, no one helped me with the homework. No one washed my clothes. I had to wash my clothes like under the showers and stuff like that. You know what I mean? So
I hope you don't mind me asking. I'm just thinking of what the audience might sort of questions might have on this. So, I mean, obviously, your own. Was your mum and dad together at home?
My real mum, dad. No, my real mum. They were separated. They were separated. Yeah.
But obviously, your dad sent you to this school for the good of your education, to further your gymnastics.
Yeah.
And you've described so beautifully you find in this kind of surrogate family, this step family.
Yeah.
How did your dad feel about that?
Yeah, it's what happened. Like, so I'll tell you everything. So after the first weekend, I felt, like something special. I felt like somebody actually looked after me, I felt like home.
Yeah.
And then 2 weeks later, she's asked me again, to go. And then I went, obviously. And then, 2 weeks later, she asked me again. So I was like, I went nearly like every weekend, I went to hers. And then I was like, we get like a really good bond together. And then she said to me, listen, like when your dad is coming to visit you, I want to see him. So my daddies came up to see me and I said to him, listen, Dad, there's a teacher, like I'm staying with her like nearly every weekend. And then she's going to meet you and I'm going to talk to you and all that. And so, yeah, they met. And then my stepmom, she went mad over her, like in a crazy level.
Oh, right.
Because like she said to my dad, like, listen, like how there, like you can leave a little boy in the big city on his own without nothing and no one around, you know what I mean? What if like something gonna happen or he's gonna be ill or, you know what I mean? And my dad is like, he said like, listen, that was the only option to have like a better life, like than my brothers. I have like 3 real brothers, you see. So yeah, that's the story behind. So my stepmom, she said to him, listen, I would like to adopt Jonny fully, and my daddy said like, listen, I can't do that, but I can do it half fun. So basically like half adopted.
Wow. And that was a formal procedure, was it then you went through in terms of...
Yeah.
And how was your relationship with your dad from then on? Was it the same? Did you how did you sort of compartmentalize the two relationships?
It's what happened, like, because I left my home, like as a young age. I never had the bond with my dad, like, and with my brothers. I was like, my dad is, like, unfortunately, he's not alive, anymore. But I had 3 brothers and, we talking and then we seeing each other and stuff like that. But, if you're not spending with people, times and, together all the time, you don't have that connection, that bond. So, I always felt, I always feel like my parents there are my real parents. You know what I mean? But obviously, like, I always, you know, like, I have a dad and he's always looked after me. And you know what I mean? When I went home, I always like visited him and all that. So
it's so fascinating because I can empathize with both your dad's position on that and with your step-parents' position.
Yeah, it wasn't easy for him as well, but he knew my real dad. He knew, like, if he's going to do that, you know, like, he's just going to do like a good thing.
So he's done it in your best interest.
Yeah,
but I can also
right.
understand why your step-parents might think it was a bridge too far. But it's a huge credit to you that you've been able to look back on that all so positively and so calmly and so rationally. Are your step-parents still with us?
Yeah, they are with us. Yeah, they are with us. I went home and visited them in Christmas time, you know, so I always go home and visit them. And it was like they're coming.
That's in Hungary, is it?
That's Hungary, yeah. That's Hungary. Because what happened, like, so we all lived in Transylvania. And so I stayed with them for 3 years with my step-parents in Transylvania. So I lived with them, you know, like I came out from the boarding school and then started to live with them, you know, fully. And I was like, I got better again with gymnastics, and then I had to move again. And the only option I had to go to Budapest. And
that's capital Hungary.
That's a capital, yeah. And my stepmom, she's put me on a train, and then we went to Budapest. And then I was like, I had to go through it again, like with a full assessment, you know, like I had to like show like what I can do, and you know, and then they said like, okay, you can stay, you can start again, like next week. So again, you know, like you know when you just feel like, you know, like you find a home and a family, and you're comfortable, you know, for years. And then because of gymnastics, you know, like when we went to Budapest, I had to go back again in the boarding school. You know what I mean?
And how old were you then?
I was around 14, maybe 15.
And during that time, because I can completely understand what you're saying, Jonny, in terms of you'd found this stable family platform.
Yeah.
You were calm, you were settled, and then you were faced with this crossroads in terms of, you know, do you stick with that or do you follow your goals, your gymnastic goals?
Yeah.
Did it ever occur to you at that age to stop the journey you were on in terms of gymnastics and settle for the more stable?
No, because like I kind of like I want to follow, you know, like the past what my daddy's actually put me through, you know, as a start, and you know, till this day I want to make it. I want to make it, and like to show him like that I did it. You know what I mean? If that makes sense.
It does make sense.
So we went to Budapest, and then I was like, I had to go back to the boarding school, and my mom, she's like, listen, you know, like I was like, I can't like stay with you because, like, you know, she's had a home in Budapest, and then her daughter and my stepsister, and then, you know, like everything else, like her job, everything was in Transylvania. So I was like 15 years old, you know, and I just felt, you know, like, oh my God, like, I'm gonna lose this family if I'm gonna, you know, stay in the boarding school in Budapest. And then she said, like, listen, like, it's nothing going to change. This is what she said to me. Like, it's nothing going to change. I'm going to come and visit you, you know, like, much as I can and make sure you okay. And then I said, like, okay, you know, but I felt like it's something going to change. But, you know, I just had to do it. And then basically, like, I started, like, to do gymnastics and all my life, and, like, I started to in Budapest. And then 2 months' time, like, she came. And she was there in Budapest.
And
you know,
the fact that you've still got the relationship now suggests
oh my God, it's very,
right.
very, very strong relationship. Like every day, we're chatting every day, every single day. And so basically, like the story, like what's happening after, she came, you know, like a few times just to check like I'm okay, and chatting with the teachers and, you know, like my coaches and all that, you know. And then the third times, like the second time when she came to visit me, she said to me, listen, Jonny, I don't think I can do this anymore. And then I was like, what you mean by that? And then she said, like, listen, like, I feel like, you know, like, we are not together as a family. And I said, I know, but, you know, like, what can we do? And then she's like, listen, like, I can't do this anymore. And I was like, I felt, you know, like, she's gonna step back, and then that's it, you know? And then the third time, and she didn't say nothing else, you know? And the third time when she came like with a big bag of clothes and stuff like that, you know what I mean? And then she said, like, honestly, she was a school teacher. She said everything at home, beautiful house, family, everything, yeah. And she came like with lots of clothes, and she's like, I'm staying. And I was like, what? Are you staying? And she's like, yeah, I'm gonna stay because I want the family together again. And she stayed with me in the college. We was like sleeping in like, I was like, we had like bunk beds, isn't it? So I was up and she was down below me. And then she was there for about nearly a month, with me. And she tried to find a job in Budapest. And then she started working as a cleaner, cleaning houses and stuff, And then my dad is a builder. So he's had like jobs in Budapest as well.
This is your stepdad?
Stepdad, yeah. And then he's had jobs in Budapest at time. And then obviously like my stepsister and like my grandmas and like her grandma and grandpas and like uncles and everybody else, they was looking after her in Transylvania. While my stepmom and my stepdad, they finding their feet in Budapest. And she's got a job as a cleaner. And then, we started renting a little apartment in Budapest. And then, she's got like a school for my stepsister, and then she's brought my stepsister out in Budapest. And then, I was like, wow.
She sounds an incredible woman.
Oh, listen, she's like an angel, to me, like an angel. So we was together, in a matter of time, we was together again. And then from that, we was together, and then she was looking after me, and,
That must have been so important to you in terms of not just your pursuit of your goals in gymnastics, but just as part of your personal development to know that you were loved like that.
Listen, we never had through all these years, we never had any fight between me and her. Not one single fight.
What an amazing woman. Well, tribute to her, credit to her.
I can't say any bad words, just good things.
And what then, in terms of you were in Budapest?
And in Budapest, I become as a professional gymnast, obviously because I was 16, 17, 18, this is when you are developing a high level of gymnastics. And I become 3 times Hungarian champion. I did lots of competitions, and my step family, they was supporting me with everything. And I had a little injury. I was training on to go to the Olympics and all that, but I had injuries, shoulder injuries, and I was I had to stop for a bit. And because I stopped, I was in the gym, but when you was in the gym, but you're not in the gym. Yeah. Everybody else is training hard, and he was I can't do nothing. I was just there.
You sort of lost that drive.
Exactly. But I was 19, in that time. And then, all your life, you're training for something, and then that dream just goes,
And was it the injury which was the point, the trigger to you sort of losing that bit of direction?
Yeah. Because, you want to there. If you're there, you want to train, Otherwise, there's no point to be there. And, I was waiting what's happening, we're going to have operations or not or whatever. And then there was a couple that came in the gym, and then they worked in the circus. Okay. And they was practicing their new tricks and all that. And then me and them, we started chatting, talking what they're doing. And then they said they're coming from the circus and they're traveling in the Europe and all that. And I was wow, all my life, I did, I haven't done nothing else, just gymnastics, you know what I mean? And I was wow, man, what a life. When you're young, you want to, your drive is
very appealing, isn't it?
Exactly. And I was I went home, and then I had a chat, with my parents. And first, because my coach, he was he was a strict man. I was too scared not to say anything to him first, you know what I mean? So I had a chat with my parents, and then they said that, listen, that's all good, but the hard stuff, it's when you have a chat with your coach. And I was oh, okay.
So this was the coach who was working with you on your sort of professional competition side of gymnastics.
That's right.
I see. And was he not happy?
Oh, listen, he was a hard man. Honestly, he was so strict. You're not messing about in the gym. You went in and was wow. You're not shouting and running around and stuff like that. Even when we was 18, when they said line up, you had to be on the line. So anyway, I went in, and then we sat down, and I said, listen, I feel I'm going to change here for a bit. And he said what do you mean for a bit, And I said, listen, I can't do, I'm here, but I can't do nothing. And, I have this opportunity, and I think I'm going to go for it. And he said to me, like, listen, Jonny, like, one thing I'm going to say, so listen carefully. So he said to me, like, if you're going to leave now, it's no coming back at all. Because like if I'm gonna, like miss like 2 months or 3 months or a year, half year, it doesn't matter what, like you out of the routine, and it's not gonna work with me like to bring it back again.
Yeah.
And he said like, it's your choice. You're old enough now to choose what you want to choose and like which way you want to go in your life.
And what was in your mind when you were making that decision? Because you'd obviously committed so many years of your life to a certain pathway in terms of pursuing as an athlete, your professional gymnastics. What did the stakes seem quite high there in terms of that decision you had to make?
Yeah, it was really hard decision. But it's something. If something just said like in me, it's like do it, because you never know. You know what I mean? And then as I grow up as a young age, and like I was like, let's just go for it. And yeah, I left.
And you joined the circus.
And I joined the circus, and then started to travel in like Europe. We went to we went to Romania, we went to France, we went to Germany, we went everywhere.
And what was life
Italy,
like?
And you know what? Because I didn't know nothing else, isn't it? It was like for me, wow. Like it's no strict lifestyle in there. It's like basically we had like 2 shows a day, and that's it. You know what I mean? It was like, that's like for us like an hour work, and we did like what we wanted to do like the rest of the day. And for me, like that was like, wow, that's a big change. You know what I mean?
Because you were
like,
so used to training so strictly and having
because I was in the
discipline.
gym. I was in the gym and I was a gymnast like between 4, 5, 6 hours every day.
Wow.
And
to go from that to 2 shows a day and then having so much time to yourself.
Exactly.
So and obviously combine that with the travel, seeing new places, meeting new people. That must have been a great life for a young man.
It was good because like it wasn't like a responsibility, no bills and nothing. We was like traveling with the caravans around, it was fun. It was really fun. But yeah, we went everywhere. And then,
was it a good career? Was it good money?
Nah.
You were doing it just because you loved it.
Exactly. I think that part of my life, it was like a big part of my life is where I am now. Because without that, I wouldn't sit in here now.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I do.
So it wasn't like a good money, you know what I mean? But as I said, like I didn't have to pay like my bills. My only bill was, like to feed myself. That's all. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And
how long were you? And just talk to me about what you did in the circus. I mean, you were a performing gymnast there, then you were entertaining. So what was your act?
We did 2 acts. One was the trapeze, just up high. I was like doing all the flips around and catching the person and swinging out.
Oh, I know what you mean.
And all that. It was fun,
Were you ever the one being called?
Yeah, I was a flying person.
I think I prefer to be the one being called.
Yeah.
You just have to have a lot of trust in the guy.
Oh my God, yeah. It's like the training, like between with the team. Like everything has to be like in spot on. Like, every second is like counting there, like, like the swing together and then when you are letting go the trapeze and all that. So it's like, but obviously like we trained for it. We trained hard. And the other act, it was all fun on the ground. We were just running around and flipping around and, making like people just laugh basically.
Wow.
But yeah, that was fun. So we did that one for a year, just over a year. And this is where England is coming like in my life. This is the first time I came to the UK. That was 2006.
Right. And that was as part of the circus?
Yeah, we did the circus, yeah. We got a job in Christmas time. We did the Peter Pan show.
Right.
Down south in Dunstable. So obviously like back in that time, I didn't speak the language at all. I mean like.
And you were still only in your early 20s at that point, were you?
Yeah. I was 21. And, but like, we didn't have to speak.
Just pull that a little bit closer, brother.
Because back in the days, like we didn't have to speak English. We just have to like do the act, and flipping around and all that. We didn't speak like in the shows. So we got the first job for 6 weeks, and then I worked with Brian Blessed. Big beard, big voice.
As in actual Brian Blessed.
Yeah.
What's he like? What was he like then?
Oh, you know what? He's so funny.
Is he?
Oh,
He looks.
he's so funny.
Does he talk in that voice in real life? Like that big booming voice?
Not all the time.
Does he not?
No, but
Thank God for that.
But he loves it. You know what I mean? He loves it.
He plays up to it.
Yeah, all the time. I always like when he say this conversation like he's talking properly, but you know, sometimes you just come out like, whoa. It was so fun, you know. I love that show.
And what did you think of the UK then when you first got? I'm just trying to think what it was like in 2006. I mean, it was. Did you like the look of the country? Did you feel a connection with it?
Yeah, I did straight away. Honestly, God, like I've been in so many countries, you know, before that, and then I just felt, you know, like you guys and like English people just so like nice, you know what I mean, and everything, you know, like the culture and everything. I just started liking, you know, the houses and like the way, like, you know, like it's not like big fence and big gates, like, you know, back in Europe countries, like it's have like big fences and everywhere you can't see, you know, whatever. So I don't know, I just loved it straight away.
And what were the challenges in terms of the language side then? Because obviously when you were performing that would have been an issue, but when did you first start to think that you might want to make the UK your home, and what did you have to do language wise? Because I mean you speak great English now, obviously, but what was that transition like? How did you
after that, like I got a job. I was lucky to get a job in the UK on my own in down south in Legoland, and as a stuntman.
A stuntman in Legoland.
Like a stuntman, yeah. I was like
the sounds of that
on the jet ski and flipping. Like we had like a big lake. Have you ever been in Legoland?
Is it in Windsor?
That's right.
Yeah,
Windsor,
I'm sure I've been. Yeah, I just try and block all these things out, to be honest with you, John.
Okay. You're just there, but you're just not focusing what's around you.
I just keep watching. I just keep clock watching. But no, I'm joking. I remember it being pretty good, to be fair.
Yeah.
And you were a stuntman.
So it was like a big lake in the park, and then, you know, like we had jet ski in there, and, you know, like we had a big tower and, you know, bridges and all that. So we had to learn the fight, you know, the act actually. But in that point, like I didn't speak the language at all.
So is it part of a show then? Is it?
It is. It was. Yeah.
Right.
It was. So it was so funny because, you know, I had to, you know, like come out and do my or like what's it called, like when I have to, like, you know, before the, you know, like the show is happened. And there was like send us up, you know, like in a big swimming pool, like 10 meter high, you know, because I was like in the show we have to dive.
Oh, okay, I mean? Right.
So like an audience, in that audience,
you given like an introduction?
Yeah. One of them. So first time I went up, you know, like 10 meter high. Honestly, God, like I never jumped like in the water like that, you know, from that height. And I'm not scared from the heights, but like there was like, okay, we would like to see like a somersault, back somersault. We would like to see a double somersault. You know what I mean? And I was like, man, if that somersault is not gonna, you know, like spot on, I'm gonna break my, you know, like my back in that water. So
have you had any experience with diving at this point?
No, not at all.
Oh my God.
Not at all. I just went for it. All my life, like it was like hit and miss, isn't it?
And at this point, had you made a decision that the UK was where you wanted to stay, or were you still just made that decision?
Yeah, but I wanted to stay. Because I don't know why. I just felt like I want to try it.
And did you learn the language sort of formally, or did you just pick it up?
I had to pick it up. I was like, I got the job, and then we had 6 shows every day in Legoland, and then, you know, we learned the routine somehow. I don't know how I learned it, you know. There was like, it was talking to me. I was like watching them, and then they're showing what I need to do and when I need to do it. You know what I mean? And somehow, like, I just picked it up. And,
oh, no, Jacob just found this.
Is this the kind of thing you were doing?
Yeah, that's the one. Yeah, that's the one.
Man.
Yeah, I worked in there.
I remember seeing that as a kid.
Gee.
Yeah, that was, you know. That's the place.
That does not look the safest, does it? How deep's that water?
Oh,
It's not like ankle height, is it?
It's quite deep, like in here in the front. It's quite
You
deep.
give yourself more than a shoulder injury if you jump off there into the shallow water.
But just wait till they're jumping.
Jeff did all the dancing and stuff and all the...
Yeah, of course. And everybody's
my
jumping
God.
out like, whoa.
Oh.
You see.
That's right.
It's quite deep.
Shallow,
It's
doesn't
quite
it?
deep, yeah. In the front, when you are jumping out, like you can see, like it's only just one section you can jump out. So front of that is like quite deep.
Oh, brother. So how long did you work there?
So I worked there for 8 months. So obviously, like, you know, like I didn't speak the language. As I said, like I'm gonna go back in here. 6 show a day in the summertime, and I was like, you know, like after one show, like we went back, got changed and all that. You know, we had like 20 minutes between the shows, and I was sitting like in the corner. I was like, I couldn't speak with anyone. You know, I was just like watching people like how.
And where were you living at this point? Were you living on like at Legoland? Do they have like a
No, I was living like with the people, like, you know, from the shows
who work there?
yeah. And then, you know, like I was like, I had like, you know, like a little like piece of papers like everywhere in my room, you know, like Hungarian and English words, you know, and then I was like knife, bread, and that, you know what I mean? So I learned like all the stuff, you know, and then when I was like sitting like in the room and I'm just watching the people like, you know, like what they doing, how they talking, you know what I mean? So when people listen like, can you pass me the knife? You know what I mean? Example. So when I heard like knife and I'm watching them, you know what I mean? Like somebody said, can you pass me the knife? And it was like, pass it. I was like, I tried to put it in like together, like, can you pass me the knife? You know what I mean? So I was like,
just listening.
So I just listened there and then
reactions.
watched it and then I honestly got just picked it up. It wasn't like, you know, like straight away, but yeah, this is how I learned it. I had to learn the words first and then
sort of join them together with.
Yeah, exactly. And
That's
then
amazing.
and then somehow it just happened. I'm here now and talking to you.
Yeah. So what after Legoland was gymnastics still a part of your life at this point?
No, not like gymnastics. I was like the show, the show life.
Yeah,
obviously, you know, and but not the gymnastics, not like
No.
the Olympics, you know, like not like the high level of gymnastics, not anymore. And then what happened? I came up here in Liverpool way, and I was like, I didn't find any kind of jobs like, you know, like this kind of one, and I didn't know what to do with myself. So I started working in Omskirk, okay, in the factory.
Oh, okay.
In a factory. After all this, what I went through, yeah.
And all this commitment that you've made.
This commitment, yeah. I was like, you know, I didn't find like any like show business, you know, like for myself, you know, up here. And I ended up in Omskirk in a factory, in the wood factory for over a year. And obviously, like I had a little bit of time between Legoland. You see, I came up here. I didn't find any jobs, so I had like, you know, like a few months when I didn't work, and I got that job. And then I was like, wow, you know, like I'm working again, and I was like so happy and all that. You know what I mean? It's like the money wasn't good. Like I got like £250 a week,
right,
back in the days. You know what I mean? But you see something, you know?
Yes.
And I was like the first 3 months, like I was like, wow, man, like I'm working, I have a job, you know, I had people like going to you know, talk and friends or whatever. And then after 3 months, I was sitting, you know, like in the canteen, like when everybody's having lunch or whatever, you know, and I was like looking around, and you know, like in the factory, like people like they're like who's like a bit like disabled, or you know what I mean, like people who can do the jobs like feeding the machine,
sure.
You know what I mean. And I was looking around, I was like thinking, you know, with myself, like, I can do better than this. You know what I mean? And then when people started saying to me like, oh, listen, man, you know, like this is such a good place. And like I'm here like 40 years in this company. And I was like, dude, 40 years, I would go crazy here, you know? And then, but for them, that was a life, isn't it? But I just felt like, I need to come out from here.
Well, the way you put it is right. If somebody is engaged in a certain pursuit in their life, if that's work, if it's a relationship, if it's a hobby, which they're happy with and they're content with and they view as purposeful, well, it's no one else's place to judge that. But if it's not right for you,
yeah, exactly,
you really have to identify what road you're on and commit whatever you need to and take whatever risks that are needed in order to achieve your goals.
I think everybody's have like, you know, like their own limit, isn't it? So
yes.
I felt like in that point, like, oh my God, you know, like everybody can feed that machine, you know what I mean? But I have all this talent and I went through all this hard time all my life, you know? And I can do something what not many people can do.
Absolutely.
Not because I want to show off now, you know what I mean? But I just don't belong here, if that makes sense. So I felt like I need to come out from here. And then I went home, like after like, I think I was there like for 13 months in that factory. And I went home and then went like on Google, what can I get? Like what would I would like to do with myself now? And I Googled in, and then I think, you know, like I want to do something like training wise, because I know I need to train, myself and stuff like that. And I just did like personal training. And then I was like, okay, reading them up, the personal training place. And then because I was still like, like my English wasn't that good, I was struggled. And we asked them like, is it more like we have to learn like lots of like, like paper stuff and in the class, or more like practical? And then they said like, oh, it's more like practical and all that, to be a personal trainer, to get the qualifications. And I was like, okay, with the practical, like I can do that. I can do all this, like it's easy peasy. So, I paid the money and all that, and then started the first lesson. Listen, mate, we went in the classroom and we didn't came out to the gym for about 3 weeks. He was just in a desk, and then the teacher's like, guys, just copy that, and then everybody was English, and they copied and all that, And I was like, I didn't even start it. And then she was like clicking over and over, So I was like, man, I'm never going to pass all this, So, the exams came, and the teachers, they see, like the way like I'm training myself, and we had a little time break. So we went out in the gyms and then we trained ourselves, and then the teachers, they watched us how we're training. So, how I'm training. I did that kind of stuff like in that gym in DW, and the teacher, she came to me and she said, Jonny, once you're going to pass these qualifications, you're going to be okay.
But it's just a case of finding a way to get through
exactly.
it. So, how did you get through it then in terms of getting the qualifications?
I went through, but like the first 2 times, like I failed with the paper one.
Got you.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
With the practical one straight away, I passed it. But because like I struggled, it was like it was a question, and then like you have to like 4 answers. You know what I mean? And you had to like choose which one. But I didn't understand the question, so how can I like answer for which one? Like I gotta choose. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So after the second time, I said to the teacher, listen, like we have to do something in here, because I paid all this money, you know what I mean? And I would love to like to pass all this. And then she's like, okay, like she's gonna have a talk like with the big people. So she came back and she's like, listen, next time in the exam, like she can sit next to me. And then if I struggle to understand the question, she can explain the question. And then, like I can decide which one I'm gonna take,
So she helped you through it?
Yeah, with like not the way like I need to do this or that, you know what I mean?
Just to
explain the question, so I understand. I question.
I just wonder if these days, if you probably would get that sort of help, because you do need to help people through, don't you? Who are faced with whatever challenge.
Yeah, of course. You have to help, somehow.
Yeah.
So I passed the qualification, had a qualification, and I become a personal trainer in the gym. And I started in Nomskirk gym.
And how old are you at this point?
I was 24, around like that.
And is this the part of your life when you first heard of Ninja Warrior?
Yes.
For anyone who doesn't know, just explain to us what Ninja Warrior is, first of all, and how you became to get involved.
Ninja Warrior is an obstacle course. It's like, it's coming from America. And I was like, I'm sure like so many people see Ninja Warrior in the UK as well.
And it's a TV show, isn't it?
It's a TV show, yeah, an obstacle show. It's quite hard. I'm not sure, did you see it or not?
I have seen
it. It's super hard. So basically like Ninja Warrior, and like I see Ninja Warrior and follow Ninja Warrior, American Ninja Warrior. And then, like when I was sitting at home, like in the couch and was like watching the show, I was like, oh yeah, that's easy. How, like, he fell off on that obstacle, you know what I mean? I was laughing myself and I was like, I would love to try it. And one of my friends, he's messaged me and he said like, Jonny, guess what? I was like, tell me quick. He's like, Ninja Warrior is coming to the UK. And I was like, no way, mate. And he's like, yeah, you can apply for it and all that, online. So I was like, let's do it that quick. So I went on it, applied, and there was like an option, like you can send a video of yourself or not, you know what I mean? But it's like, it's good if you send a little video like how.
And what is it? A video of you like working out or something?
Yeah, anything, you know what I mean? So they can see like who you are and what you're doing and stuff.
Oh, I've got you right.
And I didn't like best of my shots, like everything what I did, the hard stuff, you know what I mean? And I put that file in there, and then they seen it, and it was like, wow, actually, like Jonny he knows what he's doing. So I got an email back and he said like, okay, you can like come and we can see you, you know what I mean?
And then from there, I mean, you became a bit of a fixture with Ninja Warrior.
Yeah, so I ended up to to get on the show the very first time.
Oh, Jacob's found something here. This isn't Jonny, is it?
Oh, yeah, that's me.
Oh, man.
Yeah, that's me. That's me.
So for anyone who's just listening, you're basically clambering across, what do you call them? Like bars?
Oh, listen, I don't know what to call that one, but, you know, like that wall, you know, the first time when I did the wall, I was like, wow.
Bloody hell, what were you thinking with your hair there, mate?
No, hey. Which one is better? Which one is better? This one or that one?
I prefer that one. I prefer that one.
that hair, that's like a ninja hair. Okay?
Yeah, I'm really joking.
This is like more like, you know, like serious Jonny hair. You know what I mean? That's like, you know, showbiz.
But this is like a proper, well-produced show, isn't it?
It is. But
And
you know
what's
what?
I have seen it, but I'm not that familiar with it. Is the purpose basically that you get one person standing at the end?
No,
wins?
it's basically like, you know, like you have, you know, like so many stages to go through, you know, and obviously, like you're not allowed to try the obstacles at all. You're not allowed to like even just touch it. You know,
so you're not allowed to practice on them.
No, you go in the first day, and then you know, like they have people who's like they're working like in the show, and they are the testers, like course testers, and then basically like I was on the ground, everybody else on the ground, and then they are showing like what need to do and how need to do it, and then we watch them, and then they explain the rules and stuff like that, and then we have to go back, and then when they call your name, you just have to come out and do it.
And how did you get on?
So yeah, I did 3 times in the UK. Okay, the very first time I was like, I didn't actually know like what I'm doing. You know what I mean? And then I went all the way to the final. The very first time I came second, and I missed 1 year out. I trained like really hard in that year, and went back on the 3rd show, and then I won the show. I was like the last man standing. Amazing. You know, I went the furthest than anyone else. How did
that feel then when you got to the end of it? Because I mean, although it's a TV program, you can't underestimate the athletic achievement that is.
Yeah, it's you know, like the rules in there. You know, like it's unreal. You know, you need to be like super fit as well to do Ninja Warrior. Everything like in time limit. This is the year when I was winning. That's like the final.
And you'd never done that before?
Never.
Oh, man.
Never.
That's awesome.
So basically, like, yeah, that's a Salomon ladder. Which is what?
And what was it like from the performance perspective? Because, I mean, obviously they want it to be an entertaining show as well as just showcasing the level of your abilities.
Yeah.
Did you enjoy that side of it, like the performance aspect to it?
The Ninja Warrior is like for me, it's like very serious. You know what I mean? Some people is going there, you know, like just to have a laugh, you know. But for me, like my mindset is like to win the show, you know. So I wasn't like messing around or do the show business side of it, you know, or showing off. I just went to just do it. But the pressure is like, it's unreal. It's like, wow. I did so many, you know, like competitions through my life, but that was like, whoa. Man.
And how long is this after you left the wood factory?
That was after, I think, 3 years. 3 years later.
I think it's inspirational to anyone who's sat listening, who's in a spot they don't like, who's maybe in a career they don't like, that within such a short period of time, by showing the level of commitment and passion that you did, that you were able to achieve something like this and to turn your life in the way you wanted it.
Yeah, exactly. That's the obstacles, like it's always hard, you know. So I came off in here in the very end, but I was a person that went further than anyone else in that point. So you can see in the end, like I was with the TV presenters and talking and all that. So, but I do fell off in here. I won the show in that point.
Oh, you don't even want at that point.
Yeah. I knew like I'm the winner anyway because no one went that far. And I was like,
you should have just jumped off surely at that point if you knew.
No, from there you have to jump over to the other side as well. It's not just out. Like, have to like turn and.
Were you involved in Ninja Warrior in other countries as well?
I didn't want it. I was like, got involved. Like they invited me to do like the Hungarian Ninja Warrior and the German Ninja Warrior as well. You know, so I did both countries, and you know I did well. I was in the final all the time. I didn't train, you know, like to be honest with you, I didn't train for Hungary one that much because I thought, you know, like that was the second season back in Hungary. And I thought like, it's not going to be that hard. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it was a shock for me. It was like, wow, man.
There was a high quality there.
It was.
So when you'd done that, was at the end when you'd achieved what you had on the show, did you expect, were there opportunities presenting themselves to you to sort of go further down that road of TV work with Ninja Warrior?
Not really. I was expecting like more out of it, but obviously like, nothing.
Well, it's an incredible experience, isn't it? And what did you do? Because I mean, this must have only been what, like 4 years ago or something, was it? 3-4 years ago?
That was what we just watched. Like that was 2017.
All right, okay.
So yeah, that was my year. That was my best year, 2017.
It's amazing, man. And
but like I got experience in like to work for Ninja Warrior. I was in there for, as I said before, like nearly 2 months as a course tester. Worked for the show. And here, I was in Germany here testing the course. You see, so how it works, like we have like 4 people in the show as a course testers, and 2 people they are doing the day shift, and then 2 people the night shift. So overnight they're changing the course. You know what I mean? So daytime they are filming, and overnight they are changing the course. So that was the night time, like I did in here, a night shift, and. When they changed the course, it was like, Johnny, can you come and like try it out? And then like if something is not right, or I have to say like this is too easy or this is too hard, then like they're changing it.
And when what was it that made you sort of stop doing this type of work? Then was it just not the opportunities in terms of being a course tester, or was it a decision to go back to what your previous business in trading?
Yeah, I mean, I still can do it. I mean, sometimes I do get like involved again with Ninja Warrior and course testing. Sometimes they're just like, Johnny, what you doing? Can you come out for 2 weeks, 3 weeks? You know what I mean? So I was like, okay, I just go out and do a bit. But because like I have like my business built up in here, and I don't want to lose it, if that makes sense.
Well, let's come to this. I want to make sure everyone's clear on where this incredible journey you've been on has arrived at now, because I'm so fascinated by the fact that like when you were so young in the boarding school in Hungary, learning gymnastics, learning these skills that you're now helping the next generation, not just in terms of gymnastics, but sort of combining all of these wide-ranging experiences you've got as your business. So tell us what you do now with your work with schools.
So the schools, like how that happened, basically it's happened because of Ninja Warrior. I have a good friend of mine and business partner, Wendy Jagger. She's a school teacher in Tartan. And basically when I won the show, she did Ninja Warrior as well. But obviously like she's fell off, like in the 3rd obstacle. So I was like, okay. So what happened when I won the show, she's called me. She said to me, Johnny, would you like to come to my school and do like a workshop, a full day one in her school? So I said, yeah, why not? And I was like, like this, like, okay, we're gonna like pay you that much money, you know what I mean? So I said, yeah, sound okay, no probs. And I did a full day workshop in her school, and I was like everything what I do, like I'm recording a little bit, you know what I mean? So I put like a little video together what I did on that day, and I put them on social media, and oh man, it went like viral. Like everybody's like, Johnny, can you come to my school? Can you come? You know what I mean? And I was like, wow, man, like let's do like a business out of it.
And is it basically a Ninja Warrior for kids then?
It is like a Ninja Warrior, like a school. We call it a school Ninja Warrior.
We're going to
obstacle fun fitness.
We're going to
we call it.
So it's Ninja Warrior obstacle fun fitness.
That's
right. I know
right.
you got Facebook and whatnot. We're going to get that.
Yeah.
We
have Facebook. We have Facebook, and all sorts. So basically, how does that work? And like we're traveling. Me and Wendy, we are traveling in the UK, and I'm not saying like every Thursday and Friday. It depends like when the schools they're booking us in. You know, I'm actually doing in Chorley. I'm in Chorley tomorrow, a full day. So listen, it's so fun. I'm not sure. Did you see like any kind of video when I did school workshops?
I don't think I have. Is it on your Instagram?
Yeah, it's on my Instagram and Facebook and all that. But
Jacob will dig it out.
There is like not that one. That one. That's like a little boy. He's have one arm. Okay, and he's doing the course.
That is incredible.
Love
Listen,
that.
if you're not watching on
know.
YouTube, guys, just put it on and watch this. This is incredible.
You know what I mean? And the end is where, like, with that little boy. So I'm building like an obstacle course for them in the school. Everything what they have in the school, like I'm using their equipments, you see. And
he's smashing it, that lad, isn't he?
like, he's going for
Wasn't
it.
it Jamie? Well done, Jamie.
Yeah, that's right.
What a top man. Yeah.
Just check out in the end. It's like so cute. The mates, like his schoolmates, like, wow.
What a brave lad.
Watch this.
Oh, that's awesome,
How
man.
cute is that? How cute is that?
But you know, it's interesting, isn't it? Because exercise and fitness does bring out positives in people.
Yeah.
And I think when you're with, particularly at that age, when you're all sort of in it for the same goal,
Yeah.
and where you're supporting different levels of ability, which we've all got, and then someone pulls it off.
Yeah.
There's that community feel, isn't there?
It's like, it's somehow like I just bond with the kids. Like they feel straight when like they trust me. You know what I mean? And I was like I feel like I'm still a kid, you know, to be honest with you. And we just have the best laugh ever.
But you know, it comes back to what I was saying at the start, Johnny, about when I've done your classes and when I've seen you training in Darcy, you do push people, but it's not in a military style. It's not in an aggressive way. You support and you help and you encourage. And that's what I find. And that must be why these schools are beating a road to your door. Yeah, because that's not like PE, is it, in school?
No.
You're pushing the kids there, but pushing them positively.
Yeah, that's right. They're trying something what they never tried before. You know what I mean? In PE class, like they never tried. You never seen like in PE class, they're doing that kind of stuff.
No.
You know what I mean? So sometimes we go in the schools and then we take out like all the monkey bars and the bars, you know, from the wall and the ropes. And then the kids like, oh, this is in here. You know what I mean? Even the teachers, I was like, you're never using that kind of stuff. You know what I mean? I was like, I don't understand why. You know what I mean? The kids, they love this kind of stuff.
So in terms of your future, this obviously is something you feel really strongly about and you really love doing, and you've constructed this into a business. Is this something you would like to grow?
I would actually, you know, like would love to grow in the school wise, because the young generation is the future for us, you know. And these days, and like the kids, they, you know, like they on the phones too much, and you know what I mean, like they don't do any exercises these days, if that makes sense.
Well, it does, because I mean, it's,
you know, all the social medias and the computers and phones, they take over their life. And I would love to like to make the change for them, you know, to be an example. Like, guys, you can be that person if you actually push yourself and, you know, you put your mindset into it, in something.
And I think if we're going to pull that off, there needs to be, doesn't there? There needs to be a collaboration between parents, schools, and experts such as yourself. I think without that collective buy-in, which obviously you're pulling off through your business, without that collective buy-in, it's difficult, because if the parents don't buy into it, the kids won't, and then the schools. Yeah,
exactly.
So we need that joint approach, because you are right about, I mean, when I was, you know, early teens, you were out every night. You're playing football, you're playing cricket, you were part of teams. It was part of your life. Whereas now,
you can't see any kids in the street these days. You know what I mean? In the park, like I'm not joking. Like, but when I'm in the schools and like sometimes, and like I show them, you know, and like where you need to put your feet and hands, you know, and then they seen it, and then like when they turn, like it was like, what can I do now? You know what I mean? I was like, dude, I just showed you what you need to do. And just put your feet from here to there. And I was like struggling.
And it's not the kids' fault, is it? And it's no one's fault. It's just the way society's developed. But the only way to change it is to actually have some viable alternatives out there.
Listen, I think like the fault, like it's from it's coming from the adult, you know, people. You know, from the teachers as well, you know, because like if there's like a rope in there in the hole or climbing frame, you know, like why are they not using it? I know, like, you know, like health and safety and stuff like that, but come on.
Well, like, exactly. And I mean,
you know what I mean? When you was a kid and I was a kid, and you know, like, we was climbing trees and all that, and these days, like, you're not allowed.
Well, that's it, isn't it? And I mean, I think the benefits of fitness go far beyond actual sort of sporting achievements. It goes to your mental well-being. It goes to your physical health. It goes to discipline. It goes to friendship. It goes to teamwork and all these skills which you can apply later in your life, no matter what you do. So I'm a big advocate of it. And
but you know, like if you're not actually pushing, you know, like your child, you know, or that little person, you know, then that person, they don't know the difference.
No, that's
you know
right.
what I mean? So if I'm not gonna say like, come on, I'm gonna show you how to do it. I'll put you on there. I'm gonna support you. I'm gonna help you, and just try it. It doesn't matter if you fall. I'm gonna catch you. You know what I mean? But just try it.
Yeah.
Not just like, well, you know, health and safety, and you're not gonna try it. You know what I mean?
What do schools do then if they want to get you in to perform, to set up some of these fantastic events that you do, these programs? Do they contact you via your social media?
The schools, they need to find our page.
Facebook page.
Yeah.
Which is going to be on everyone now. It's going to be at the bottom of our socials on the podcast description and all platforms.
Yeah, just contact them, just message a page anytime, and then, you know, Wendy, like my business partner, she's going to get back.
And that's anywhere in the UK?
Anywhere in the UK we can travel.
Amazing, man.
You know, that's a Thursday, Friday. We are going to actually spend time, you know, and travel wherever they are booking us. And obviously, like, I'm working in the schools, like in my area, like where I live. I have 3 schools. I'm doing an after school club, you know, in 3 different schools. And the kids, they love it. That's the best day, like when I'm in the school, you know. And I was like,
I can see. I mean, you could see from that video.
Yeah, exactly. And then, you know, like I just started to do in one school 2 PE classes as well.
Right.
You know, on the Wednesdays. So yeah, I'm pushing the kids.
It does seem logical, bearing in mind just how crucial gymnastics, physical exercise, fitness was to you at that age, that you would be transferring that knowledge and that experience to other young people. So I think you're made for it, mate. And I've got
for me,
no
like
doubt.
even I'm doing that kind of stuff, and like end of the day, when I'm doing the workshops, you know, when I ask them like, who would like to be a Ninja Warrior, and everybody's like hands up in the air, like I would like to be a Ninja Warrior. You know, that feeling like, wow, I did that job today to make them, you know, like,
that makes you most satisfied.
I want to be a Ninja Warrior, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And even just like 1 or 2 kids gonna put their mindset into it, like, oh my God, I want to be like Jonny, or I want to be like, go through that route or on that road, you know. For me, like,
that's the ultimate in fulfillment, isn't it?
It is. And then I was like, I'm doing Spiderman, you know.
Well, I was going to say we've got to finish off with Spiderman, because I know I've got to let you go.
But, the Spiderman.
So
yeah.
tell me, is this kids' parties you do?
It is.
Like, what did
you know? I'm 35 years old. It is, yeah. And then I am actually dressing up as Spiderman, as you can see.
Well, it's not just that you're dressing up. You're going to do something crazy here, aren't you? What are you climbing on there?
Oh man, I was like everywhere. I'm everywhere. It's raining in on that day as well, so it's like a bit like sleepy on that day, and you know. But yeah, watch this. I'm walking down my hand in a minute. Check this out. It's so funny.
Oh, mate.
The kids, they love it. Not just the kids, even the parents. You know, everybody's like, wow, Jonny, you are mad.
Oh my God. Right. Anyone who's not watching, he's now walking down the stairs on his hands. That's amazing, mate. So are you available for kids' parties as well?
Yeah, kids' parties. I'm always busy.
I was going to say, you must never get a minute.
I'm always working from Monday to Monday. I don't have like a day off. You know what I mean? On the weekend, like I'm very busy with the Spiderman. So everybody's like, obviously, like want to book with me because I'm doing that kind of stuff. You know, on roofs and doing flips, and you know, and then people's like, wow, man.
Well, I'm certainly like that. I mean, listen, mate, it's been absolutely fascinating talking to you.
But you know what? This is a story as well, like how the Spiderman has come alive. When I started the PT lifestyle, you know, I started doing my videos on social media, different videos every day. And then behind the gym, the old gym, there was like a fancy dress shop. And I was like, oh man, I gotta go in. Let's see what's in. So I went in, seen the Spiderman suit, get the Spiderman suit, went back in the gym, put them on. And I started climbing the ropes and on the bars and did a few flips and all that, you know. And I put them on social media. And then again, you know, like people is like, parents are like, Jonny, you should do like you should do parties. And I was like, no, I can't see myself like doing parties. That the suit is like, it's so like tiny on you. You know what I mean? Like, I was like, I'm too embarrassed to put that on. You know, in front of people.
You're the only kids entertainer who climbs on top of the house as part of your act.
You know.
I'm just watching all the videos.
So what happened after like, you know, like so many people like, you should do parties. I was like, no, I can't see myself like people, and then parents were like, you know, staring at me. You know what I mean? Because of the suit. Anyway, so one of my friends, like, she's seen the video, and then she's messaged me. She said, like, Jonny, it's my little boy's birthday. He loves Spiderman. Please just put on the suit for 5 minutes. I was like, oh, okay, who's going to be there? And she's like, only just families. It's going to be a play center. And yeah, so I said, like, yeah, okay. Just to make, you know, like that little kid day. So I went, you know, like, I went in, got in the changing room, like, got changed, and, you know, like, came out. I'm not messing, man. It was like so many people. It wasn't like a private party. It was like open his way. Like, it was full on with, you know, people, kids. So I was like, I have to do it now. So I went out, climbed, you know, like outside, you know, like under, you know, like in the frame, and doing handstand in the frame and all that. And then people, you know, like started standing up and they're filming me and, you know, pictures and all that. So straight away I was like, oopsie daisy, let's do a business out of it, you know?
Well, you're obviously, it's funny because you're also an entrepreneur, quite clearly, if you're able to spot that business opportunity whilst also doing something that you love. I mean, that's what like, leading a fulfilled life is all about.
You need to see like, you know, like the people's reaction, you know what I mean? And as soon as like you see, I've seen that reaction, like everybody was like standing and recording me. Like, you can't see like anyone. I'm not just because I'm doing it, but when you go in like kids' birthday parties, you're not seeing anyone like going to the roofs and doing flips and handstands and stuff. You know what I mean? So as soon as I seen that, I was like, yeah, okay. I went home and advertised. I only had like the one suit advertising, like, you know, I can do Spiderman, Batman, Ninja Turtle, Power Ranger. And I bought, like, the next week, I bought all the suits. So I started with lots of like different characters.
You're all around superhero, mate.
Hey, listen, man. And then obviously, like, for a few years, I did like all different, you know, like characters, and now I'm only doing just Spiderman.
Yeah,
you know,
well, you got to have your niche, haven't you? You got to have your specialism.
Listen, last Sunday, I was invited for a party in Manchester, and it was the next minute, and like it was like a famous football player, okay, a little boy's birthday, and I was there as Spiderman. And the next minute was like Cristiano Ronaldo's oldest son walked in. I was like, wow, let's play football. So yeah, you know. So it's funny. It's funny.
Do you know what,
I love it. You know, I love it.
Do you know what? It's so wonderful to talk to someone when they're so passionate about what they do and where they're happy and where they're fulfilled in their life. And you've been on such a remarkable journey, mate. And Jonny, you've the attributes you've gathered, the life skills you've got, the mindset, the determination.
Yeah,
it's just so inspiring. So, I mean, I've got to let you go, and I know everyone will have enjoyed it. I just want to emphasize that all Jonny's socials are at the bottom of the podcast description. And I mean, I would definitely think if I was a school headmaster or headmistress watching now, I'd be wanting to bring you in to pass on your inspiration.
I just want to say, you know, like, to anyone who's struggling in life, like, it's not always going to stay the same. You know, we just need to believe in yourself and you work hard in life, and you know, you will get there one day. If you never give up.
That's obviously. I think the key message when anyone's in a bad spot is it won't always feel that way.
Yeah,
that life is about ups and downs, and it's about having a goal.
Yeah,
and if you're prepared to pursue the goal and take whatever risks that you need to do that, and to make whatever commitment and sacrifice.
As you know, like, as you listen, like, I've been through like in a roller coaster. You know, when I've been low, I've been high, but you know, just don't stay there.
No,
you know,
keep moving forward.
Keep moving. Always keep moving. If you stay there, you lose everything. You know, so.
Jonny, thank you so much for coming on SWCC.
Thank you so much for inviting me, and thank you for listening, guys.
We'd love to have you back, and best of luck with everything you've got on.
I will be back, of course.
And we're going to make you wear the Spiderman suit next time.
Oh, yeah, the Spiderman is going to be here. Thank you. Thank you, my mate. Thank you.